Good morning, students. Welcome to the third session. Hope you all are keeping fine and attending the online classes. Today, we will be completing the first lesson, and the notes will be uploaded in the school website. The address of our school website is www.lfsraptinagar.ac.in. You can download the notes from the website and complete it. Question answers will be written in your classwork copy, and the exercise will be done in your book. Okay? Write neatly, don't make any spelling mistakes. Okay? So students, first we will revise what we had studied in the previous session. In our previous session, we studied about the tabulating machine. What is the tabulating machine? And who developed it? Remembering? Okay, the tabulating machine was developed by Hermann Hollerith in the year 1890. It was made to use in the US census, which was held in the year 1890. It used punch cards to record and sort data. Then we studied about the electronic numerical integrator and computer. It was invented in the year 1946 by J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly. This was a very huge machine. This is considered as a first generation computer. Then we studied about UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer. This was also invented by the same persons, Presper Eckert and John Mauchly, in the year 1951. This is also considered as a first generation computer. Then we studied about the first generation computers. First generation computers were very huge in size. They used an electronic component, vacuum tubes, and it generated so much of heat. Air conditioner was needed. Then we studied about the second generation computers. The technology used in the second generation was transistors. Compared to the first generation, this was smaller in size. This also generated so much of heat and consumed a lot of electricity. Then we studied about the third generation computers. Third generation computers used integrated circuits. These were still smaller in size and more reliable, less maintenance needed. This also had generated heat and air conditioners needed. Examples of third generation computers we have studied Apple I and IBM 360. Okay. Now we will move to today's first topic, that is fourth generation computers. 1971 onwards. Fourth generation computers used microprocessors. The concept of microprocessor came into existence with this generation, which led to the development of microcomputer. Fourth generation computers, that is the present day computers, are based on very large scale integrated circuits called microprocessors. These computers have extremely large memories. Computers can be linked together so that they can share storage capacity, information, space, etc. So these generation computers can be connected to the network and share the resources. The use of microprocessors resulted in a decreased size and increased efficiency. The use of microprocessor chip resulted in decrease the size. Computers have become small in size and more efficient. Input is given through keyboard, mouse, joystick, etc. and output is displayed through monitor, printer, plotter, speakers, etc. All personal computers manufactured by IBM, Dell, Compaq, Lenovo, etc. belong to the 4th generation computers. So these are the examples of 4th generation computers. 5th generation computers. Some of the applications we are using it now, present, and others are still to be developed. So 5th generation computers are based on artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? That means the computers can behave like humans, think and act like humans, think like us and take decisions by themselves. The main objective of 5th generation computers is to develop a device that could respond in a natural way. It will be capable of thinking, learning, and will have the power of human intelligence. They have the following characteristics. They have artificial intelligence. They are able to recognize images and graphs. They can take decisions and have logical reasoning. These computers are still in the development, though there are some applications such as voice recognition, intelligent robots, etc. are used. You have seen robots, no? They are programmed to carry out certain tasks. They decide themselves as how the task should be accomplished. So this is about 5th generation computers. We can see the picture of some of the 5th generation computers. A robot. Then if I see another example, Cortana. Okay. All these are the examples of 5th generation computers. Now we will study the next topic. Okay. That is the characteristics of computers. A computer is an electronic data processing machine that accepts data, process and gives the useful information. Some of the characteristics of a computer are: first one is speed. You know, a computer is very fast, isn't it? Now what is speed? Speed is the amount of time taken by a computer in completing a task. A computer works very fast and it can do large number of calculations quickly as compared to human. So it can do a lot of calculations and tasks very quickly. Then the next point is accuracy. A computer always gives a accurate result. What is this accuracy? Accuracy refers to the degree of perfection of operation performed by a computer. Computers do not make mistakes, and it is capable of handling complex instructions accurately. If the data fed is wrong, then it may produce a inaccurate result. If the input is fed wrong, then only a computer gives a wrong result. If the input is correct, it will just work as per the instructions, and it will give you a accurate, correct, perfect result. Okay. Then the next characteristics is about its storage capacity. It has a high storage capacity. Now, what is storage? You are knowing it now? Storage is the capacity of a computer to store data. So, a computer can store large amount of data. A computer has a memory that stores all data and instructions. A computer can store large amount of data that can be used at any time, that can be recalled and used at any time. Okay. Now next point is diligence. What is this diligence? It means a computer, unlike humans, does not get tired or bored. You know that we all will get tired. If we are working continuously, we will become tired, we may feel sleepy, we may feel bored, but computer is not like that. It can work continuously for hours without any error. It does not make any mistakes. Okay? It will maintain the same accuracy and speed even after millions of calculations. If we are working for long hours, speed may become reduced. We may make mistakes, but a computer is diligent. It will not make any mistakes even if it is working for long hours, and it will continue the same speed. The next characteristic is versatility. That means a computer is a multi-purpose machine which can perform variety of tasks. So it can perform a variety of tasks. Therefore, it can be used in all the fields, such as it can be used in the field of education, science and technology, business, finance, accounts, communication, entertainment, doing calculations, playing games. It can be used in many fields. Okay? Then multitasking. What is multitasking? That means a computer can do multiple tasks at the same time, simultaneously. This is called multitasking. That means more than a task it can do at the same time. For example, one can enjoy listening to the music while working on MS Word. You can type and listen to the music. Both the works can be done simultaneously. So, computer can do different tasks at the same time. This is called multitasking. Now, we have studied about characteristics of computers now. We have studied that computer is so powerful, delicate, it is a versatile machine, accuracy and speed, all these things. But it has some limitations also. Let us see what are the limitations of a computer. So, what are the limitations of a computer? First point is a computer cannot think. Right? A computer cannot think and take any decision. on its own. In case of any mistakes, any error, it cannot take an alternate action. It cannot think of its own as when to start the work and when to complete. So, a computer cannot think and take any decision. It cannot decide when to start the work and when to complete. It just depends upon the instructions and programs that we give. Okay? Then the second point is no intelligence. That means, unlike us, unlike humans, it has no IQ. It needs the instructions at every steps. So each and every steps it depend upon the instructions or programs what we give, and it cannot take any steps or any decision. Okay. Then does not have feelings like human beings. It is just a machine. It cannot express feelings or ideas. Okay. Then it depends upon the power. You know that a computer needs electricity to work. Computer is an electronic machine, thus it depends upon power. So if no power, then we will not be able to do anything in a computer. So it works only when electricity is available. And the next point is computers cannot implement any policies. We know that even though computers are helpful in storing data, it has all the information, huge amount of data, encyclopedia, everything is there. Yet only humans can decide and implement the policies. So computer is just a device, just a machine. It can work based on the instructions of us, or it just depend upon the programs and instructions. It cannot implement any policy. It cannot take any decision. It cannot think. It has no feeling. It has no IQ. Okay, all these are the limitations of a computer. All these are the limitations of a computer. Hope all of you understood what are the characteristics and what are the limitations of a computer. Now, let's just revise what we have studied today. Today, first we started with the fourth generation computers. Fourth generation computers was a period of 1971 onwards. It used the technology, very large scale integrated circuits called microprocessors. Due to the microprocessors, the size become very small, and these computers are capable of storing large amount of data, and input is given through in a keyboard, a joystick, mouse, etc., and output can be displayed through monitors, printer, plotter, etc. And these are the devices which you are using now. These are the computers which we are using now. Then we studied about fifth generation computers, that is present and beyond. Some of the applications we are using it now. Okay. So what are the features of it? It is based on the technology artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? That means the computers can think like humans and work. Okay. It used ultra scale integration technology. That means microprocessor having 10 million components. Some of the examples are Siri, Google Now and Cortana that we are using now. Then we studied about the characteristics of a computer. What are the characteristics of a computer? Speed. The computer is very fast. Then accuracy, does not make any mistakes. Even though it is working for long hours, it can maintain the same speed and accuracy. Storage, a computer can store large amount of data. Diligence, computer, unlike humans, does not get tired or bored. It can work continuously for us without making any mistakes. It will maintain the same accuracy and speed even after millions of calculations. Then we studied about versatility. That means computer is a multi-purpose machine which can perform a variety of tasks. It can be used in the fields of education, science and technology, business, accounts, communication, entertainment, etc. Then multitasking. A computer can do multiple tasks at the same time. This is called multitasking. For example, we can listen to the music and at the same time we can work in MS Paint or any other program. Then we studied about the limitations of a computer. Along with its strength, a computer has certain weaknesses or limitations. They are: computer can't think. A computer can't think and take any decisions. Then we studied about intelligence. It has no intelligence. Unlike us, the computer has no IQ. So it needs instructions at every step. So the next point is, it does not have feelings like humans. It cannot express ideas or feelings. Then it depends on power. If electricity is there, then only it will work because it is a machine. Then a computer cannot implement any policies. Even though all the data are available inside a computer, it cannot take any decision or it cannot implement any policy. So these are some of the limitations of a computer. Okay. So I told you to write the question answers in the copy and exercise in the book. So this is your homework today. Write neatly all the exercises in book and question answers in your classwork copy and learn it. Okay, students?